Hey crafty friends, it's Annie from Vintage Lace Journal, and I'm here today with a late to the party Junk Journal July making of my junk journal. So I wasn't going to take part in Junk Journal July, but I've been inspired by so many fantastic things I've been seeing on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I thought, you know what, I need to take part after all. So I'm totally unprepared. I haven't downloaded the prompt list. You get a prompt list for each day, but what I am going to do today is just show you how I am going to make my journal. So all I've done here is, because it's Junk Journal July, they do Junk Journal January, Junk Journal July, and it's Meg's Journals, which I'll link her channel below, who hosts this. And each day you get a creator will come and show you how to do certain pages revolving around these prompts. And I've done this before. If I just grab one of my previous journals, she says. So this was my Junk Journal July from last year, and as you can see, you get daily prompts that you then create your pages on. So I just used this as kind of like an art book, and I just went through, created little bits and pieces, and yeah, it's just really good fun to do. So like I said, this is my latest one. This is one of my most liked pages, bizarrely. Got a bit of vellum in there. And this one as well. I use little tubes to create this little tag page. Inking, painting, stamping, sticking, tearing. Oh, it's just amazing. I just absolutely love it. So I've decided I'm going to do it. Anyway, so I have got loads of stuff together here, which is obviously all junk. I have got an old brown envelope. I've got some book pages that I've torn out. I've got a birthday card envelope for one of my granddaughters, a prescription bag. I've got some pages from a book. So that's an English storybook, and this is a German dictionary. I've got an old bit of scrapbook paper I've used for another project, music paper, and I've just got some brown Amazon packaging. Now all of this is going to come together and create this album. Now I like to stitch mine, so I do a fold in half or fold and stitch it. And the front cover, I haven't even got a clue. I might use, I quite like this brown packaging. It's really, but it makes the journal quite small. But to be fair, I don't think this journal was that big before, and it's not very thick. But once you start gluing pages and things inside it, yeah, I think I'm going to use that as my cover. So all I basically do is get my pieces of paper. Some of them I fold in half, some of them I might not. So this, for example, I'm just going to tuck inside there and have that as kind of like, this could be a page. I might glue it on there, I might make a pocket. It depends how the journal takes you, which is a good thing about Junk Journal July. You don't know what you're going to do until you kind of like get there. So yeah, just have a little go, have a little play. This German book page I'm going to put round in there, which means you do get 4 pages, so it's kind of like 1, 2, and then I'll have it here as 3 and 4, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, just kind of tuck things in. I'm going to fold this so I have the actual window, because I might make a feature out of that on one of my pages. So pop that in there. Another book page in there. That's slightly ripped, so just be careful with that one. Then I'm going to pop my prescription bag. Fold that there. Might keep that one. So I'm going to fold that. I'm not going to fold it completely in half. Just folded that with a kind of like tuck spot there. I'm going to pop that in the middle. And then I should have some more Amazon packaging. So I'm just going to take that together. I'm just going to go get a bigger piece of this Amazon packaging. I've got loads of it to make my front cover. There we go. Like wrapping a parcel. This is such good fun because I don't measure anything, trim anything. I'm just going to cut that with scissors. And then just so it wraps around everything. Sorry, this is probably really noisy for you guys to be listening to. I'm just going to come along with my craft knife and go through all these layers so they're all the same size. So I'm going to trim this, and I'm going to trim all these little excess pieces off. So just line that up there, fold that round to a ruler, and I'm just going to take off about yay so. And I'm just going to line this up so it's actually, I get a straight edge. So line my ruler up at the top and at the bottom. And just come down with a craft knife. So I'm going to do the same for my edge here. So I want to keep that pink envelope, so I need to make sure I don't cut into that. So I'm just going to take that very slightly that side of the line. And again, lining that up. Haven't lined that up very well at all. So I'm using the grid lines on my mat. I'm just lining those up. It's not going to go all the way to the bottom anyway, so it's too big. And it's junk, so it doesn't matter if it's not straight. There we go. And then finally, this bottom part. Again, just lining that up. And getting the right line so I don't cut on the wrong line. There we go. So there we have it. That has created my junk journal. So the next thing I'm going to do is come in with my embroidery thread. This lovely orange here I chose. And I always do 1, 2, 3 times the height, which is, yeah, 3 times the height. There we go. And I'm going to come in with my needle, my pokey tool, and my rubber. And can I now find my rubber? Probably not. So I was using it the other day on a project, so I probably chucked it somewhere. Do you know what? I'll do it with that, it'll be fine. Ah, there it is. Okay, so find the centre of your journal and also look for pages that are smaller that you need to pick up on. So obviously this page is quite small. This is a prescription bag, so I need to make sure I incorporate that inside my trimming. Okay, so we're going to find roughly the middle of my journal, which is probably about here, and then I'm going to do these lines so they catch that bag, so they're going to go quite in, one there, and then one there. Yep, that's going to catch that. Okay, so all I'm going to do then is bring my rubber in. I'm going to go through all of these at the same time. So poke down through the holes. Not quite on the rubber. Like so. Okay, then all I'm going to do is come in and do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So if you haven't seen this before, I shall go through how to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Okay, so we go from the centre out through all of our papers, outside into the middle, and leave a little bit of a tail inside. You're then going to come back in at the top one through all of my papers, okay. Make sure it's nice and tight. You then come all the way down from the top hole to the bottom hole. Again, going through all of your papers. Just making sure I'm picking up that brown paper bag. So all the way through and out the other side. And then finally you come back in through the centre hole. Again, making sure you're picking up all of those papers. And there we have a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And I'm just going to pop that thread the other side. So just to remind you, I went out through this middle hole to the outside, back in the top hole, all the way down to the bottom, back out, and then back in the middle. So once that's done, I can then tie that into a knot. Once. And twice for good luck. Okay, and then you can leave those dangling long, or you can cut them off if you want to. So I always like to cut mine. But I might just leave a couple in there. And that is my journal, ready for Junk Journal July. So like I said, this front page is, I might do that as a back page, it's annoying. I'm sure I'll be upside down. That's fine. I'll straighten this out because it's got a bit of a curve in it, so I'm just going to put something flat over that overnight. But then you've got a really good mix of papers in here. So I've got book paper, bag, book paper, envelope, scrapbooking paper, dictionary, a little bit of a flap there, some music paper, another one of those flower pages, and then it will be the opposite of a verse. So here I've got a nice little bit in here that might not need a pocket, and so on. And again, I can love a little tuck spot in here, book page, paper bag, might be able to put something inside, and there we go. So I'm now going to decorate the front of this, and this will be my Junk Journal July. Nice and easy way to do a junk journal. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and keep tuned. I'm going to put my Junk Journal July videos as shorts. Most of them will be on shorts. I won't make whole videos of them unless I do a specific process that I think you'd like the journey along with me. So I thought I'd just come back onto camera and just show you how I'm going to decorate my Junk Journal cover. I'm going to do mostly the front. I'm going to spill onto the back a little bit, but I'm just going to keep this mainly for the front at the moment. So I'm going to do kind of like a layering up technique for this. Just using bits and pieces of junk that I've got laying around, and a few things like stamps, and using this modelling paste as well. So first of all, I've just got this is a text stamp I picked up, I think it was Amazon, and I'm just going to randomly go over the back of here. I'm not really fussed about it being level. I'm just kind of like creating a layer. So it just looks like text on that background. You can't read what it says. Not supposed to read what it says. That's absolutely fine. There we go. Okay, so we've just got that kind of like base layer of text on there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a stencil. Please don't ask me where this is from. I honestly can't remember. I picked it up in a load of stuff. Probably somewhere like Temu, possibly. Not sure. So I'm going to use this modelling paste and just create another layer. And again, I'm just going to randomly put this in places. So there's no kind of like right or wrong. So just grab some of that modelling paste on a spatula and just holding that down, I'm just going to push it through like so, and then carefully lift. And then using a different part, I'm going to come to the side here. Just pushing that paste through, lifting it. And I know I'm going to put something on the centre here, so I'm not too fussed about putting anything there. So it's really kind of like the edges of my journal. Pushing that through there. And then again just down the side here. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry. I'm going to go off camera while that does its thing. I might just put a little bit just on this gap here. There we go. Didn't work out too well because I wasn't holding it down. scrape that off. There we go. So it's going to let that dry and I'll be back in a moment. So that's mostly dried now. It's tacky in some places because it was quite thick. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build up like an area in the middle, and I'm going to stamp out Junk Journal July. I've got some great stamps, put them down somewhere, that are letter stamps. So I'm going to stamp that onto some, I think I'm going to do book page paper and have that kind of like Junk Journal July across the middle. So first of all, I've got some papers here. These are from Artful Era Gallery, so I'll tag those below. I don't know if she's got a YouTube account. I definitely know she's on Instagram, but she very kindly asked me to use some of her papers, which was very kind of her, and I chose this great kit. It's called Vintage Mega Bundle. So I'll link her Etsy shop below. So I'll get that bit of white off. So I think about having that across there. And again, I'm just going to play around with things first before I commit to anything. And I've got some coffee dyed music paper. Again, just tearing. Nothing too particular. I won't have that there. And I've got a coffee dyed doily, so I have that poking out from underneath. And then I'm just going to get a book page, and I've got this quite old one. This was called Headless Angel. My local supermarket has a stand full of old books. You just pay whatever you want to really for it. So I think I'll pick this up. I think it puts something like 50p in. So I'm going to use that to stamp on the words Junk Journal July. Right, so let's just glue these bits down first of all. I think I'm just going to ink around the edges. I'm just going to use tea dye just because I know this one has been freshly inked, so it's nice and juicy. So just giving those edges that kind of worn look. I treated myself the weekend. I'm trying to buy, every time I get paid, a distress ink, and this time I've gone for saltwater taffy. It's kind of like a pinky kind of colour. I don't have any pinks. It's got purples and greens and all the browns and the like dull colours I call them. So I went for something a bit more colourful. So each time I get paid, I'm just adding to my collection. So pop some glue on this. Because obviously, as you know, art supplies can be quite expensive. I know that things we use all the time, so I know it'll get used. That one there. And I'm just going to lift that up. Just pop some glue along there. And pop that doily in. And then just glue that down again. And then just make sure that's, doesn't matter, that way up. And granted, you can layer as much or as little as you like on this. Oop. Pop that there. I might actually put a little bit of lace on this. Let's see what laces we've got. Oh, actually, so I've got some scrappy bits in here. I have that down the bottom. So I bought this the other day. We've got the Works craft shop near me, and this is a fabric glue. So I thought I'll give that a go. I've not actually used it yet. Just wondering if that's got a seal on it. Yes, it has. be the next fun job, is getting the seal off without breaking my nails. Nope, I need something to get that off, so I'll just use some tacky glue for now. There we go, is that the bit I cut? Place that along the bottom. Okay. And then, like I said, I'm going to get this, so pop this out of the way for a minute and just close my... So I've got these 2 book pages. So I'm going to obviously write Junk Journal July. So I'm going to do it as Junk Journal July, done separate pieces. So just come in with my block. So you... Okay, and I'm going to do capital J. Now, as you remember, when you turn this over, it's going to be that left to right. So when you put it on here, you have to put it on the wrong way, which could have been a big downfall. And stamping is like to be fun. I don't stamp very often. Sometimes I have a little play with stamps, and I see someone do something on Instagram and think, oh, I'll have a go at that. And I'm going to use just black ink. Okay, so see how this goes. Yeah, quite like that. So junk. Then we need journal. So I don't know if I'm going to fit it all on here. I'm just going to speed this bit up so you don't have to wait for me kind of like placing all my letters. Okay, so there we go, we've got Junk Journal July, and all I'm going to do is super carefully, because this paper is quite old, and I've actually stamped those quite close together. I'm just going to tear around it. We've got junk. It's gone very close to the edge there, but that's fine, it all went on. Yeah, if you have if you're in the UK and you have supermarkets, on your way out, there's often shelves there, and they just have like a load of random books, and they're usually just a donation. And you can often find some little gems on there, and they're not asking the world, they just said put a donation in for the charity. And I always think, do you know what, something's better than nothing. If you were to pick up these at kind of like, you know, shops that specifically sell old books, they try to charge a fortune for them. And they're not really worth anything unless they're first editions. You know, they've been out of print for a very long time, and we're just repurposing for art. So go for it, have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to get those here, and I'm just again going to just go around those with some ink, just so they pick up from the brown in the background. And again, the ink will pick up nicely on here because it's really old paper. It's quite brittle actually. Quite careful. So as you know, I'm quite behind on my Junk Journal July. I kind of had a, oh, you want to take part, I'm missing out. But you don't have to do every day. If you want to join in with Junk Journal July, you can do it whenever you like. If you don't like a prompt, don't do it. If you want to do, you know, more than one page on another prompt, do what you like. They're very fluid on how it works. Okay, so bringing in my journal now. So we've got our Junk Journal and July. I'm going to have them nice and quirky on the front there. So again, come in with that glue. All the way around the edge. I love it. It's quite funny, you have an idea in your head and you see something online and think, oh, I'm going to have a go at something similar to that. And it comes out completely different, but I'm really pleased with the way this has turned out. Love it. Now, I did say I was going to go into the back with this. Obviously, I haven't because this was still damp. I didn't want to turn it over. But what I'm going to do off camera is on the back, I'm going to do the same process. So I'm going to do the inky background first. Then I might do this in a different colour. And then I'll do a bit more layering up with some bits and pieces. So there we go, my Junk Journal July, ready to start doing my prompts in. So if you're following along with Junk Journal July, don't forget to use the hashtag. You can also tag in @MegJournals. I'll tag her below in this because obviously she and Get Messy Art Journals are the people that actually run this Junk Journal July and Junk Journal January. And it's, yeah, just great fun. So thank you for watching today. I hope you found this video really useful and keep your eyes open for more of my Junk Journal July posts. Bye, crafty friends.